Hey, welcome back. A while ago, we had the water fail at the cabin, and the line was basically toast. So we had to trace it all the way back through the driveway, which is about maybe 120 yards, all the way back to the well. Now, once we'd done all that, we destroyed my driveway, and I thought, well, it really wasn't that great before. It had some ruts in it, and every time I tried to clear off the snow and the ice in the wintertime, it just, you clear off the top layer, and then the ice fills in the ruts. So this was my chance. I had never done anything like this before. Not that I was intimidated by it, I just, designing a driveway. How do you do that? So I had looked online, seen some things. I knew what I wanted. I wanted something kind of nice and level. I wanted some ditches on the sides, some flow for water. I wanted to make sure that the ice wasn't building up in the patchy, shaded areas on the driveway. So I cleared a couple of trees out to open up and expose some patches on the driveway. That would help them hopefully thaw out a little bit quicker in the winter. Anyway, I started with farm rock and then went to like half-inch rock and then went to three-quarter and then some pea gravel. Once that was laid out, and it was a bunch, I think it was a total of 6 or 7 truckloads on the driveway. Once that was laid down, I grabbed a buddy of mine's tractor and decided to flatten it out. And then this. Peaceful day out here at the cabin. Got our wood all taken care of for the season. Sitting there in the shed, drying out. And today we're going to finish up part of a project we've been working on for many years. This is our driveway. And we've had a couple loads of garbage, a couple loads of gravel dumped on it. We started with big rocks, went with a little bit smaller, and then finished up with finer 5/8 gravel. And as you can see, it's not horrible. I'm just going to walk this so that there is some sort of a indication of what it looked like before. That way, when I'm finished, there's an idea of what it looked like when I was done. Anyway, it seems to me like it should be pretty straightforward. Roll up and down this half a dozen times, turn on the little vibrating drum, and let Mother Nature and liquefaction do its thing. So we'll see. One of the things that I really wanted to get my hands on was a roller specifically for a little pad that we put in case we ever need to have a pump truck brought in for our well, or a well truck brought in. So this is all nice farm rock, big thick stuff, rather coarse, and it's gonna make it a little bit easier for the guys to come out here and access our well. So there it is. I'll probably try to feather it into the road out here, and the guys that dumped off the gravel hit our ditch here and messed up stuff. So I tried my best to fix it, but I'll do a little bit better. Anyway, here we go. Well, it's done. That took about 6 hours of rolling around on that roller. Did a really nice job. I would suggest if anyone's going to rent one of these, watch some videos, read the instructions. I started off with a 56-inch drum and used the heavy vibrate at first, right down the center, just to pound down the part that usually builds up. And then I rolled out onto the sides of the road, going down one side, up another. Then I switched to the rapid vibration on the drum, and that seemed to do a really good job. I would drive a little bit slower and let that vibration in the drum really do its thing all the way down the driveway. And then I'd come up on just, regular roll, and that seemed to do a pretty good job until I had squeezed some of the moisture out of this gravel in the ground, and I got some liquefaction. And so that's where it starts turning the surface into mud, which sticks to the drum, and if you're doing this alone, it's kind of a pain in the ass. because you have to get the mud off the drum, otherwise it leaves little imprints like a stamp roller. So I'll just put my finger in there, right there you can see some water still, and that wasn't there before I started, so I've pushed it up. There's a little bit more in here, but overall I'm really happy with the way things turned out. These guys now, well guys, have a great little pad here for driving a big old well truck on it without sinking 2 feet into the mud. That'll alleviate any guilt that I have. And I was able to do a little bit of reconstructive surgery to the drive here. So all in all, I think it came out really nice. I'm very excited, looking forward to a much easier time of snow blowing, clearing off snow and ice. Not to mention just a nice smooth driveway. I suppose the next step would be take some quickcrete concrete mix, put it in a fertilizer spreader, go up and down this driveway maybe twice, and then hit it with a little bit of water and let it set up. I know that there are some companies out there that make some polymers that are designed to set up around aggregate. I think it's pretty expensive and you need quite a bit, but it would be pretty amazing to have this rock solid for 5 to 10 years. Anyway, I appreciate that you took the time to watch. In case anyone's paying attention, we're going to expand out this easement. I've already got some gravel that I'm starting to spread and got some rocks that I'm going to use a little bit later just for some accent border pieces. And this section right in there, I'm going to have a little RV trailer, so if people want to spend the night, I don't have to give up my bathroom. That'll be kind of cool. Anyway, that's our driveway before winter. Ta-da! So, if you have the wherewithal to rent one of those drums, I highly recommend it. Spreading out the gravel was nice, but it was still just spread gravel. So, with the addition of the flatness, it's now pleasant. It should be really cool. I admit it's not going to be very easy to see all the stuff that I'm pointing out, but the driveway itself slopes off at the edges for about 1.5 feet. So the driveway is actually about 4 or 5 inches thick of gravel. This area there, that pad, that's about 1.5 feet of farm rock there. And then it angles off at the corners to allow the water to flow off so I don't have any buildup and any ice dam and stuff like that. Hey, there's one of my favorite deer. She's cute. I wonder if she's still alive. Anyway, this is just me driving up the driveway, or maybe even walking up the driveway. I'm not sure. I'm probably just showing off and not really showing anything special. Oh yeah, the turkeys. We used to have a Bengal cat that loved to chase these things. Never caught one, but it was fun to watch. Every now and then you could pick him up in the window, point his head at them, and he'd be like, "Ooh, I want that." And you'd be like, "All right, let's go. Let you outside." He'd chase them, then he'd get bored. Then they'd get bored of him. I admit I really don't hate the turkeys. I don't like when they roost up in the trees and crap all over my car. That kind of sucks. But they are kind of cute, and one of the females is really neat. She's almost friendly, you might say. I play with them a little bit. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Now, I really don't know much about turkeys other than if you feed one, you basically start feeding them all. But every now and then there is one that just seems like she's kind of friendly. Anyway, I've seen her for a couple of years and it's always a pleasure. So when they're in the yard, I try not to scare them too badly. Alright, that's enough of the turkeys. Now I want to brag a little bit so that you can see. This is the actual driveway. This is at night, I admit, so you're not going to see a lot of it, but look how smooth that is. Oh! It's like paper. Here's a close-up of what it looks like. And the reason I did it was so that when I go to clear the snow, it's pleasurable. And by pleasurable, what I mean is I don't have to change the height of the auger all the time. I'm not having to change shear pins out every 5 minutes because I picked up a piece of gravel. This is heavenly to me. I can do this for about 4 hours a night, which I usually did. Thanks for watching.